Hey everybody, it's Nerdy30. I just wanted to say thank you for joining me once again on my old school RuneScape Ironman series, episode 5. To me, this is a stepping stone that I was looking to hit because, like many YouTubers, we come up with goals and ideas that we think would make good content, and sometimes it just doesn't pan out. I was not quite sure how I was going to balance recording and playing because I do love the game and I do really enjoy making YouTube content. But finding that balance is what I've been doing over the last few days. As I mentioned in episode 4, unfortunately I spent several hours at the ER yesterday and am going to be off of work for the next few days as I recover from a bacterial infection. So it's given me some extra time I needed to get the editing side caught up to where I'm at on the equation side with the account. So going forward, I'm going to record and play and edit, and I'm going to keep those balances in check because, as I mentioned in some of the earlier episodes, episode 1 through partway through episode 4 was filmed all within the same weekend, and it's taken me 3 weeks to get the content out, so I'm not trying to create a backlog like that again. Anyhow, this episode is going to be really simple. An item that I've been looking at trying to get an upgrade for is the Amulet of Magic. One of the easiest ways to get, I think it's 24 crafting for being able to make that amulet is by tanning cowhides. So the goal for this started to just getting, I think, 150 or so cowhides, and then I realized when I got the clue scroll drop, I didn't realize cows dropped beginner clues. So that was a pretty exciting feature that I found. That's what I love about the playing the game, especially in the early game, is you get to discover a lot of things that you maybe didn't know or forgotten about. But this episode is going to be primarily focused on getting cowhides so I can train my crafting up and doing any of the clues we get. I will give you a little bit of a spoiler. I think you should stick around towards the end of the video because we got some pretty cool loot. So if you enjoy RuneScape type content on old video games, or just like Ironman stuff, or watching me fumble around like a doofus, please consider giving a like and subscribe. I hope you enjoy, and welcome to episode 5. Just remember, while playing RuneScape or doing anything on the internet, please remember to practice safe computer. Just kidding, sorry, I'm gonna have to turn off my notifications so they don't pop up on the screen. Again, it's interesting because like Discord and stuff doesn't pop up, but system notifications do. This clue gave me a second staff of water, which was fine because any items that are worth more than a few hundred gold I'm going to save for trips to the general store in West Ardoin, since they do pay 55% of the high alch value of the item. I think one of my later account goals is going to be to achieve 600 beginner clues for the Explorer emote. Now, I'm not 100% sure if they have to be beginner clues or if it's 600 clues at all, but I need to get some clarification on that. But I slowed the footage down here because this was the first legit drop that I was absolutely stoked for. And this is why I say I open every clue casket that I get when I get them, because this is our first collection log drop, and it's a monk's robe top trimmed. Now, I'm not necessarily one for Fashionscape, especially this early in the game, but that's actually a pretty good looking set. So I will hopefully be crossing my fingers every time we get a beginner clue, trying to get a bottom to match it. Equipment wise, it was a good prayer upgrade, and prayer is something I'm going to be focusing on once we get rolling. Maybe in the next 2 or 3 episodes, I'm going to be pushing towards that goal of 43 prayer for overhead protection prayers. Another goal that I have been working on passively in the background is, just as I'm leveling up, is getting that 500 total level. After seeing how fast the total level comes in, we just surpassed 300 there in some of the montage footage. It made me think maybe I should have set that goal a little higher. So I may change that goal. I'm not 100% sure, but it was something that I wanted to work towards, but I didn't think it was going to come quite this easy, considering I'm still not doing too much higher or mid-game stuff. I'm just killing cows, still trying to get some basic crafting levels done. So I think I used all of my RNG up with this next clue. I got another clue shortly here afterwards, and as you can see, the back-to-back rewards are super exciting. So one thing that I wanted to say was, once again, I appreciate all of the comments and the views that I've been getting from this series. This isn't a series that I put together hoping to, get a million views and monetize my YouTube or anything. It's just, I enjoy this content, and when I make a series, whether if it's gaming, thrifting, RuneScape, or computers, I look at it through the scope of, is it something I would like to watch? And I've always been fascinated with budget tech and budget gaming PCs, and that's why if you see a majority of my content is around that niche, because there is a demand for it, and not everybody has $1,500 to throw at a new computer. So to me, anybody who has money can buy the best or high-end pre-builds, but being able to put it together with the challenges to me is more rewarding. Anyhow, back to RuneScape. This clue casket I was really, really surprised on. When I opened it, I didn't notice or register what this was until I saw the collection log pop up at the top. Getting the demon feat was actually something that I had kind of internally mentioned might be nice to have, because please correct me if I'm wrong, it is considered a warm clothing item for Wintertot. I don't necessarily plan on doing Wintertot anytime soon, but having clothing that can help in that game, if it is something I decide to do in the near future, it's nice to have. So 2 back-to-back drops, pretty rare. Looking at the drop rate for both of these items I got, the Wizard Robe Tee and the Demon Feed, I think it's like 1 in 360. So it is a pretty rare drop. I think my ultimate drop, if I hadn't said this yet, would be that little shoulder parrot. I just think he's pretty cool looking. So I decided to celebrate the 2 drops by killing this Black Knight. Used to kill him growing up, thinking that you would get full black from him, which is not necessarily the case. So I wound up deciding to knock out X marks the spot for the beginner clue that comes with that, because I felt maybe my RNG was on a roll. So I decided to give this a shot, thinking, maybe we could get a 3-peat, unlike the Kansas City Chiefs with that embarrassment of a Super Bowl last year. Not jokingly, I'm a Chiefs fan. I'm originally from Central Kansas, so I grew up watching the Chiefs. And this here just shows you this is the 3rd clue casket after 2 amazing back-to-back drops. That clues are hit or miss. You never know, but that's why it's important to hit as many as you can, because you never know what you're going to get. Maybe someday I'll have a 3rd age item sitting there. Who knows? I was going through my bank because I was killing more cows. I finished getting those hides for tanning, and I didn't get any more beginner clues, so I was concerned maybe I had one in the bank somewhere that I hadn't done. So I checked my bank for clues, and I actually found this this easy clue that was in the bank. So once again, I have the rule, if it's something that's going to be too much time, I'm going to drop it, because you can always go get more clues, but I don't necessarily want to, deviate and detour 6 hours to get a drop for something that may just be another, iron pickaxe. But this one was one that I could do. So if the steps are something that are relatively easy or quick to do, I'll do them. I was actually kind of surprised with this drop. I believe that this is a drop that, was something that I'm going to not necessarily use right away, but I will keep for towards the end game. Let's see here. I always try to find a nice looking spot when I open these. But the big drop here was the Lunar Isle teleport tabs, and got another black battle axe. And the chaos runes are nice, so any kind of mid-tier runes are really nice, because I'm looking to start stockpiling those as we get towards the end game. But anyhow, we're at the end of episode 5. Thank you once again for joining me. If you like what you've seen and you like the content, please consider supporting my channel with a like and subscribe. Tune in and turn on those notifications, because I'll be back shortly. I'm Nerdy30, and I'm signing out.